What if the silence isn't empty? What if the static on the line isn't just noise but a message? For over 45 years we've been listening. We've sent our little ambassador, Voyager 2, out into the cosmic unknown, pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible. But in the cold, black void, far beyond the reach of our sun, a new signal emerged. One that wasn't supposed to exist. A signal so strange, so profound, that it exposed a truth NASA has been trying to bury for decades. You're about to hear the real story behind that signal, and what it means for every one of us here on Earth. This isn't science fiction. It's our future. Have you ever felt completely alone? Like you're the only person on a deserted island? Now imagine that feeling, but on a cosmic scale. That's where Voyager 2 found itself. Billions of miles from home. And that's when the silence finally broke. We're all just a tiny speck, aren't we? That's what they say. But in 1977, we sent a piece of ourselves out into the great black ocean of space. Not a warship. Not a satellite with a weapon. Just a tiny metallic message in a bottle. The Voyager 2 probe. Its mission? To show the outer planets of our solar system that we were here. To explore. To learn. And maybe, just maybe, to say hello. It's been 45 years. Think about that for a second. 45 years. A lifetime for many of us. Voyager 2 has been sailing through the inky blackness, a lone explorer. It's seen things we've only dreamed of. It's captured images of Jupiter's swirling storms, Saturn's majestic rings, and the icy alien beauty of Neptune. Each image, each piece of data, was a gift from a cosmic wanderer. We were all watching. We were all listening. And for a long time, the only sound we heard was the gentle, rhythmic pulse of a healthy spacecraft. A heartbeat from the edge of our celestial neighborhood. But then everything changed. As Voyager 2 pushed further and further out, it reached a critical moment. A moment that scientists had been waiting for their entire careers. The heliopause. What is that, you ask? Think of it as the final frontier of our solar system. The edge of the sun's bubble. Beyond this point, you're no longer in our neighborhood. You're in interstellar space. You're a true cosmic traveler. On November 5, 2018, Voyager 2 became only the second human-made object in history to cross that line. It was supposed to be a triumph, a celebration. But something else happened. Something entirely unexpected. A new kind of data started to come in. A faint, almost imperceptible signal that wasn't supposed to be there. As Voyager 2 crossed the heliopause, it was like a swimmer breaking the surface of the water. For the first time, its instruments were exposed to the raw, unfiltered energy of interstellar space. And what did they find? A new kind of hum. A sound. Not a mechanical sound. Not the familiar hum of plasma. This was different. Scientists called it an anomalous cosmic ray signature. But what did that really mean? It meant the data didn't fit the models. It wasn't what they expected. Not at all. You see, the heliopause is supposed to be a shield. It protects our solar system from the majority of cosmic rays, those super-fast high-energy particles that fly through space. Our sun is a cosmic bouncer keeping the bad stuff out. So, when Voyager 2 passed the threshold, it was supposed to be bombarded with these rays. The data was supposed to be a tidal wave of information. But instead of a flood, they got a whisper. A strangely organized whisper. The cosmic ray signature was not just weaker than anticipated, it had a strange rhythmic pattern. Like a code. A cosmic Morse code. This was the first hint that something was deeply wrong with our understanding of interstellar space. What could possibly be creating this pattern? Was it a natural phenomenon we just didn't know about? Or was it something else entirely? The questions began to mount. Why wasn't our cosmic shield working the way we thought? What was the strange new hum? The data was confusing, but it was also captivating. It hinted at a mystery bigger than any of us could comprehend. A mystery hidden in plain sight, just waiting for the right explorer to stumble upon it. NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, is a place of scientific miracles. It's where some of the smartest people on the planet work to unravel the universe's greatest secrets. But when this new data started coming in from Voyager 2, even they were stumped. They double-checked the instruments. They ran the models again. They looked for every possible explanation. Could the sensor be malfunctioning? Was it a fluke? The answer kept coming back the same. The data was real. Think about the implications of that for a moment. This tiny probe, launched back when disco was a thing, was sending back information that was rewriting the textbooks. The hum, the strange pattern signal, it was proof that the space beyond our sun was nothing like we imagined. It was a wake-up call. A gentle reminder that we don't know everything. Not even close. This is the point where our story takes a turn. Because while the public was celebrating Voyager's triumph, a quiet, internal debate was raging within NASA. The official press releases were celebratory. They talked about the historic crossing and the dawn of a new era. But what they didn't say was that the very data that proved the crossing was also throwing a wrench in everything they thought they knew. They couldn't explain the hum. And what do you do when you can't explain something that big? You try to find a way to make it make sense. Or if you're not careful, you try to make it go away. Before we dive into the cover-up, if you're as fascinated by these cosmic mysteries as I am, please do me a favor. Take a second to like this video, share it with someone who loves a good conspiracy, and hit that subscribe button. It helps me keep digging into stories like this one. We're on a journey together, and I don't want you to miss what we uncover next. Now let's talk about what NASA did with that data, and why they went silent. A whisper from the void. A pattern that shouldn't exist. This isn't just a blip on a screen, it's a cosmic riddle. And the more we tried to solve it, the more questions it raised. Okay, so we've established that something weird was happening. But what exactly was it? When the data from Voyager 2's plasma wave instrument hit the screens at JPL, it wasn't what anyone expected. They were anticipating a clear, uniform signature of interstellar space, a constant hum of plasma. Instead, they got something broken. A series of faint, pulsing signals that were separated by long stretches of silence. It was like a beat, a rhythm. A cosmic pulse. Imagine you're listening to a radio station but all you hear is static. You wouldn't think anything of it, right? But what if, every few seconds, the static suddenly organized itself into a single, perfect tone? A single note, held for just a moment and then it's gone back to the chaotic noise. That's what this was like. A perfect, unnatural tone in the middle of the cosmic noise. And it repeated. Over and over. The frequency of this signal was the most baffling part. It was incredibly low, in a range that scientists had never before associated with interstellar plasma. Our models, our decades of research, all of it said this signal was impossible. Natural phenomena in space like the shock waves from supernovas or the solar winds from other stars create noise. They don't create repeating rhythmic patterns. This was something different, something intentional. What made this signal so peculiar wasn't just its existence, but its stability. Despite Voyager 2 hurtling through space at tens of thousands of miles per hour, the frequency and duration of these pulses remained almost perfectly consistent. It wasn't a random occurrence. It wasn't a glitch. This was a sustained, repeating event. This consistency suggested something was generating the signal, not randomly but with a purpose. So, the big question on everyone's mind was, what could possibly be causing this? Scientists at JPL proposed several hypotheses. Could it be a new type of stellar remnant like a pulsar but one with an entirely new kind of emission? Could it be a natural but previously unobserved interaction between interstellar particles and an undiscovered force field? They threw everything they had at it. But none of the known physical laws could fully account for the signal's unique characteristics. It defied our models. It broke our understanding of the universe. And what about the possibility that it was something manufactured? A thought so bold, so audacious, that most scientists dismissed it outright. But what if it wasn't? What if this repeating signal wasn't just an anomaly, but a message? A beat, a rhythm, echoing across the vast emptiness of space. The thought was chilling, wasn't it? It means we're not alone. It means something out there has a presence. A voice. For a brief, terrifying moment, the debate shifted from "what is this?" to "what does this mean for us?" A signal like this, so far from any star system, so perfectly patterned, it was a game changer. It was the moment we went from being a civilization that sent a message to a civilization that received one. The discovery was a bombshell waiting to go off. But for some reason the world didn't hear about it. The official reports from NASA downplayed the anomaly. They referred to it as an unusual interstellar plasma signature. A boring, scientific term designed to diffuse any excitement or speculation. The public was told that everything was normal. That Voyager 2 was doing exactly what it was supposed to do. But behind the closed doors of the space agency, there was a different story unfolding. Why the secrecy? Why did they choose to hide this information? The answer might be more complex and more troubling than you think. It wasn't just about fear of the unknown. It was about something else entirely. Something fundamental to our place in the universe. And that's where our next chapter begins. We're going to dive into the alleged cover-up. We'll follow the timeline of events and see how a few key decisions turned an incredible discovery into one of NASA's most guarded secrets. What truth did the signal expose that was so terrifying they had to hide it? Join me in the next chapter as we unravel the mystery. And if you're enjoying this journey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to be notified when the next video drops. See you soon. Secrets. We all have them. But what if a secret was so big, so profound, that it changed everything we thought we knew about the universe? This is the story of how a small group of people decided that humanity wasn't ready for the truth. The moment that anomalous data came in, a decision was made. Not a public one, but a quiet, internal call within the highest echelons of NASA and the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. They had a problem. And it wasn't a technical one. It was a problem of narrative. The public was celebrating Voyager 2's historic journey into interstellar space. The media was running headlines about a new frontier. But behind the scenes, a different conversation was happening. A conversation filled with words like unprecedented, unexplained, and even compromised. Think about it. You've just achieved a scientific milestone. The world is watching. Everyone expects a triumphant announcement. But what do you do when the very data that proves your success also points to something you can't explain? Something that completely shatters your understanding of the universe? You have two choices: go public and risk mass panic and scientific ridicule, or you manage the information. And that's exactly what they did. The initial press releases were carefully worded. They highlighted the transition zone and the surprising cosmic ray signature. But they never mentioned the rhythmic, pulsing nature of the signal. They never hinted at its regularity or its bafflingly low frequency. It was a masterclass in obfuscation. They gave us just enough information to make us feel included, but not enough to let us in on the real secret. The real discovery. They framed it as a minor scientific curiosity, an oddity to be studied, not the world-altering find it actually was. So why the cover-up? The simple answer is fear. Fear of the unknown. And a more complicated fear of losing control. If the public found out that a strange, repeating signal was coming from the edge of our solar system, a signal that couldn't be explained by science, what would they think? What would happen to society? Would it cause widespread panic? Would it inspire a new kind of space race, but this time driven by fear, not curiosity? And what about the scientific community itself? Decades of funding, research, and prestige are built on established theories. A discovery that breaks those rules isn't always celebrated. It can be seen as a threat. The risk of being seen as a fringe organization, or even worse, being ridiculed for chasing a phantom, was very real. So the data was quietly reclassified. Access was restricted. The raw files were moved to secure, offline servers. And the scientists who were most vocal about the anomaly were reassigned or asked to sign non-disclosure agreements. It's an old playbook, but an effective one. This wasn't a malicious act, at least not in the way we often think of conspiracies. It was a protective measure. A choice made out of caution. A gamble that humanity was better off not knowing. They believed they were doing the right thing. But was it? What would you have done? Would you tell the world that a signal from the great unknown had just exposed a fundamental flaw in everything we thought we knew? Or would you keep that secret locked away in the hopes that you could understand it before anyone else did? The suppression of this information wasn't about hiding an alien invasion. It was about hiding a revelation. A truth so powerful that it could change everything. The signal itself wasn't a threat, but the truth it revealed was. It showed that the space beyond our solar system was not the quiet, empty void we imagined. It was dynamic, it was structured, and it was organized. The cosmic hum wasn't just noise, it was evidence of a grand cosmic structure we had never even considered. The data proved that our cosmic shield, the heliopause, was not just a simple boundary. It was a complex, energetic system. And the hum was part of that system. So, the signal didn't reveal an alien message in the way we've been taught to expect. It did something far more profound. It exposed a truth about our place in the universe. A truth so unsettling, so paradigm-shifting, that it was deemed too much for the public to handle. And this is the truth they tried to hide. The truth that our solar system is not an isolated island. It is part of a larger, interconnected system. And the signal from Voyager 2 was simply the first time we ever had a front-row seat to that reality. So what is the signal really? What does it truly mean for us? Now that we've peeled back the layers of the cover-up, we can finally talk about the discovery itself. We can finally answer the question of what the signal is saying. And trust me, you're not going to believe what it reveals. Stick around for our final chapter, where we put all the pieces together and expose the full truth behind Voyager 2's most incredible discovery. And if you've made it this far, thank you. You're the reason I do this. So, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. You won't want to miss what's next. The truth, the secret, The real story behind the signal. We've spent this entire time talking about the anomaly, the cover-up, and the questions. Now it's time for the answers. The signal isn't a message from another civilization. It's something far more profound. 4 weeks, we've been on this journey together, following a little probe on a mission into the unknown. We've seen the eerie anomaly it discovered, a faint rhythmic pulse that defied all logic. We've unraveled the layers of secrecy that surrounded it. But now it's time to talk about the signal itself. What is it? What does it mean? Prepare yourself, because the truth is more incredible, and perhaps more humbling, than any alien message could ever be. Remember how we said the signal was a kind of hum? And that it was coming from the interstellar medium, the space between star systems? Well, that's where the secret lies. For decades, we thought of the interstellar medium as a near-perfect vacuum. Empty space. Nothing to see here. We were wrong. It's actually a roiling, energetic, incredibly complex environment. And it's filled with plasma, charged particles and magnetic fields. Think of it less as empty air and more like a vast, cosmic ocean. And our solar system, well, it's a ship sailing through that ocean. A very, very big ship. And just like a ship moving through water, it creates a wake. It creates a disturbance. The truth that the Voyager 2 signal exposed wasn't about a distant civilization. It was about us. It was about our sun. Our solar system. It was the sound of our own cosmic journey. The signal that Voyager 2 detected wasn't a message. It was a bow wave. It was the energetic rumble created as our sun's protective bubble, the heliosphere, plows through the interstellar medium. The sheer force and speed of our solar system's movement creates a powerful pulsing magnetic and plasma wave. It's like a spaceship's engine noise, but on an astronomical scale. It's the sound of our cosmic engine working to protect us. The rhythmic pulse wasn't a code. It was the natural, consistent beat of our solar system's interaction with the wider universe. This wasn't just a data point. It was a paradigm shift. It revealed that our home isn't just a static system. It's a dynamic, active force. The heliosphere isn't just a passive shield. It's a living, breathing, pulsing entity. The signal revealed the underlying structure of the cosmic ocean we're sailing in. It showed us that the sun's magnetic field is 1,000 times stronger than we ever thought at its edge. The hum was evidence of a powerful, energetic boundary that is actively shaping the space around us. A boundary that we are completely dependent on for our survival. Think about that. The signal that was deemed so terrifying, so unexplainable, wasn't a sign of an external force. It was a reflection of our own incredible, ongoing cosmic journey. It was the sound of our ship. The most profound discovery wasn't a new civilization, but a new, more powerful understanding of our place in the cosmos. This is why the truth was so unsettling and why they tried to keep it quiet. It wasn't about hiding aliens. It was about hiding a truth that would force us to completely rethink our place in the universe. If the space beyond us is this active and complex, then what other cosmic phenomena are we still missing? What other bow waves are out there, waiting to be discovered by a lone probe? It means space isn't an empty vacuum. It's a vibrant, interconnected web of energy and forces. And we've just barely begun to understand it. Voyager 2's signal was not a message. It was a revelation. It was a wake-up call to the fact that our solar system is not an isolated island. It is part of a grand cosmic machine. And that strange hum, that rhythmic pulse, was simply our first real listen to the universe's silent symphony. A symphony that plays on, constantly, just beyond our reach. So, what does this all mean for us? It means we are connected. We are not alone in the void, but a part of a much bigger system. The next time you look up at the night sky, think about Voyager 2. Think about that tiny probe billions of miles away, still sailing, still listening. And think about the sound of our home, a gentle hum, echoing across the cosmic ocean. A sound that proves that we are here. We are real. We are a part of it all. I hope this journey has been as fascinating for you as it was for me. It's easy to get lost in the day-to-day, but stories like this remind us just how big and how incredible the universe really is. It makes me wonder what other truths are waiting for us out there. What other sounds are playing just beyond our senses? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if this video inspired you to look up at the stars and feel a little more connected, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's the best way to make sure we can keep exploring the mysteries of the universe together. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.